Have you ever wondered what it would be like if the studio behind MMOs like City of Heroes or DC Universe Online had limitless funding and infinite time to invest into something to truly take the genre to a whole nother level? Because, well, in news that was genuinely unexpected, Netease have confirmed that they are opening a brand new studio within North America, a studio that is going to specifically, in their words, create engaging online universes for gamers worldwide. And stop right there, I know what you're thinking, but STIX, Netease are a terrible company with an even worse selection of games. And you know what, I'm not here to contest that point, because the point isn't untrue. The newly opened studio, Jackalope Games, however, has openly stated that they are going to operate 100% independently from Netease and will maintain full creative autonomy. Quick shout out to our patrons over on Patreon. This allows you to directly support us if you're interested. Every patron will have their name appear at the beginning of every single YouTube video, and you'll be immortalized in the MMO genre forever. This studio is going to be the very first international studio based within North America, and will be focusing on creating online multiplayer games for both PC and console platforms. There was confirmation that mobile is not of any interest to the new developers. Thank God. The last thing we need is more mobile games. Now, they did note something very important to me, that their focus will be on online multiplayer games, as opposed to specifically MMOs. But in this day and age, online multiplayer games are just as good, if not even higher quality, than the vast majority of MMO titles out there. What we don't know is the scale of the multiplayer. Are we looking at 2-player games? Are we looking at 20-player games? Something like Lost Ark or Tower Fantasy, which both classify themselves as online RPGs, even though they're the very definition of the term MMO. Jackalope Games' first project, which is unconfirmed at this time, is going to be fully funded by Netease. This is not an indie company that we're dealing with. On the contrary, the studio is led by Jack Emmert, a veteran within the industry. Emmert spent 15 years at Cryptic Studios, working as a designer on MMOs like City of Heroes, Neverwinter, and Star Trek Online, before slowly moving up to become the CEO of the company. He was responsible for helping transition the company over to a fully free-to-play business model. After selling Cryptic to Perfect World and remaining there for approximately 5 months, he moved to Daybreak, working on DC Universe Online. He then moved to Dimensional Ink Games, where he remained working on DC Universe Online until March of this year. Jackalope Games is going to be based within Austin, Texas. So, Hive, if you're watching this, or you're listening in any capacity, this might be of more interest to you than it is to me. Hive, of course, being the Hive leader, who you should all know. He now goes by Press Start to Laugh, and he has an incredible wife, and admittedly, you know what? He's not too bad either. I'm still waiting for him to cast me in one of his videos though. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Interestingly enough though, the studio is going to allow employees to work remotely from anywhere in the world, which means that we might get a lot more international talent, something that this genre desperately needs. Emmert went on to state, Netease Games is the best possible place for me and my team to thrive. We shared the same passion to create engaging online universes for gamers worldwide. Netease Games is providing the support and the resources needed to build a great studio and great games. Notice his use of the word games, plural. Now, this is purely speculation here, but I'm going to go on a limb here and assume that they're not working on a single title. Rather, they have plans for multiple titles. Whether they're going to work on a single title first and then they're going to expand later, or their studio will be divided into several smaller studios, remains to be seen. Now, this is some pretty massive news. Typically, we have publishers like Gameforge, like Nexon, like Gamigo, licensing already existing MMOs from over in the East for distribution in the West. Netease, however, are choosing to instead acquire talented programmers and build an entirely new studio, targeting Western players as opposed to Eastern, which also likely means that the business models will be very different to those that we're accustomed to getting from Asian games. NetEase aren't the only Chinese company that are interested in pursuing this route, however. On the contrary, their largest rival, Tencent, has also invested into acquiring and setting up studios to develop games within North America. I don't know. Either way, it has a focus on mobile games, so realistically, none of us care. Team Kaiju, which is going to have a focus on first-person shooters, and Inflection, with a focus on creating AAA PC and console games. Now, what did we learn from all of this? NetEase have established a brand new studio in Texas with a focus on free-to-play online games, likely an MMO but not guaranteed. It's going to have a Western business model and will be targeting the Western market, and that's it. Honestly, it's an interesting time to be not only a fan of MMOs, but the greater gaming genre overall. We have a lot of great looking games coming over the next couple of years, and this studio could be responsible for, well, some of them. For a full list of MMOs confirmed to be releasing this year though, I urge you to go ahead and check out this video on screen right now. You will not regret it.